2nd. Can I say that? December 2nd it is. Hope you guys are doing well out there. It is again a Tuesday. And I just saw a piece regarding a sweeping ban or an expansion on the ban of for immigration. Okay. And I do believe that there again, this is a reaction to the tragic shooting in DC over the holiday. Um, but I'm just looking at it right now. They've had yesterday, apparently, or last evening, apparently, Secretary Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, Christy Nome, got together and got together and I guess she basically co-signed that there should be basically every country of, I guess, you know third world or failed status is the bottom line, that they're going to be banning. Not to mention that that they had already taken a harder line regarding immigration prior to this situation with green cards. What I do find to be ironic is the same countries that they pointed out during the shutdown, aka the offline startup. They cited some of these same countries that were receiving SNAP benefits, but they cited um, the Afghanistan, they cited Venezuela, they cited Haiti, um, Afghanistan, Venezuela. I'm not sure. I don't think, yeah, they cited about four countries, but three of those four countries were on that list of countries of people in the US that were, uh, attributed to misusing the SNAP benefits program. And of course, you've got Nome giving you all these platitudes about the forefathers and how what they meant, and all these counterfeit platitudes about, what they meant, what they intended. I mean, I mean, history, I guess history just, the narrative is just not working. Okay. It gets to be counterfeit crap that they keep pumping out. But hey, it works on those who support the dialectic. Okay, you got to bring that in. You got to bring the platitudes in. You got to bring in the intentions of the founding forefathers, regardless as to what history says, or regardless of the slave codes, or any of that. I mean, I'm just saying, not too long ago, there were other people of other backgrounds, or people that are, I mean, to me, this also it speaks to the whole supposition about people that are using, I'm not saying it's a direct correlation, but I'm saying this whole narrative that they create, and then they think just because they put that they put Christ on the front of something, that it makes them good people, and that it makes them genuine, and that they can generate, some type of false, a counterfeit, righteousness, in the name of politics. It's I'm telling you, it's just so fake, and it's so and they're going to keep misleading a lot of people with that. They are, but I'm just letting you know that, um, it just kind of makes me it just makes me look at the whole conservative dialectic with a different lens. Like, I mean, who are you people? I mean, you guys are just selling. You put Christ on the front of your agenda, and you think that makes what you're doing righteous. It's blasphemous, is what it is. But good morning, everyone. Good morning, Tyrone T4015 and Freedom's March. Thank you guys so much for coming in. So I just wanted to talk about that just a little bit, but the sweeping ban that they're talking about. But I'm just saying, this just kind of this is why I can see why people would see that there's a fine line between conservatism, their isms, their religion, that they love their politics and all their ideologies, because it kind of feeds into the stereotypes that, to me, that they think that this country actually belongs to a certain group of people, and it's based on these fake, on this counterfeit, kind of founding and platitudes from the past. It's just so tiresome. It's a lie. I mean, this whole thing. It's like, okay, you're already looking into immigration and looking at the status of the quote immigrants that are here, or whatever you want to call them, but you're also using that same rhetoric right now to, oh, those are the countries we're going to ban. Those, yeah, those SNAP benefit receiving Afghans and Venezuelans and Haitians. Oh, where this country wasn't built for them to come here and take. So what is that? What do you think about the other people in this country that have come here of other backgrounds? That, to me, you're showing who you really are with these bans and all these platitudes, and it's just, the double speak is just, it's exhausting. So that's a piece from Axios on this, that the Secretary of Homeland Security wants to jump on the, she wants to amplify this thing about the expansion of banning certain countries. They've talked about 19, and then they throw this little classification in, this little sweeping phrase about either them being failed country, third world, and failed countries. Well, you know, it just, there again, it speaks to what they really think about people of other backgrounds. I'm telling you, it's just, and I'm not saying it's a direct correlation, but I'm saying it's such a fine line that it could be seen that way. So, um, because like I said, as soon as they wanted to make, they want you to think that the immigrants immigration is the biggest problem that's facing the country, and contributing to debt and contributing to the lack of prosperity. Yet every time you get a chance to attack, it's just another route. It's just another cross reference to everything else that goes on. Now those people are, because of what happened in DC, so like now you're going to link them to, you just add it, you're just totally building the narrative up on the backs of these third world nations slash failed countries. So if you guys want to take a look at that, it's a piece out of Axios. I think this came down between last night, and of course between True Social and on X. You've got Secretary, I mean, of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and Trump. I guess right now, allegedly, they're going through applications or whatnot, or they're putting a halt until the U.S. can recover. It's this whole heroism kind of, um, it's just exhausting. But to me, it's very, you can see right through it. You can see right through it. What is this really about? Um, Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I will put the link for that Axios piece in the description box so that you guys can follow it up. I always tell you guys, do your own due diligence, looking at things for yourselves, but I'm not going to run things through I'm not going to not run things through a rhetorical x-ray machine just because, maybe it's somebody's favorite hero. You mock my favorite hero, I'm going to roll around on the floor kicking and screaming and turn into a pile of dust. If that's you, then you better pull yourself together, because it's going to happen. These stories just keep getting, they just get more and more scripted. It's the dialectic. So who knows? We're coming towards the end of the year. I'm also hearing narratives about, oh, the economy. People on social media is always, they're always doing gloom and doom, and here are the sales on, here are the figures based on what happened on Black Friday. And I'm just thinking, well, it doesn't mean, we don't even have a jobs report, but you have the unmitigated gall to make a comment about what the economy looks like based on Black Friday. Give me a break. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in and loving on the like button. And I don't know, maybe we'll get into this a little bit more later today, but I just want to let you know that they're ramping up these narratives about these failed countries and third world countries, and like I said, they targeted those countries They've already targeted the people of these countries that are here in the name of SNAP. When they identified people who were on SNAP benefits, you know, that's what they've already done. Good morning, realize, and Marcy T. Thank you so much for coming in. So just wanted you guys to look into that if you're interested. But who knows what else is going to come out of um, this whole immigration kind of thing. It's a double speaking, kind of a mess. Marcy T said that I slept in today. Well, hey, sometimes you need it. You got to do what you got to do. But I thank you guys for coming in and loving on the like button. And, check it out. Check it out. Check out this whole immigration narrative, which I think is a response, a reaction to the DC tragedy. But there again, it's like they've got to have, it's like the left has their all time, all occasion devil. And now the so called right dialectic has created, it seems like they've made the immigrants and people who receive SNAP benefits, they're all occasion devil. So it goes back to the same thing. Tyrone T 4015 says, one thing I noticed about the whole immigrant thing is they never talk about the white immigrants like the Ukrainian, the Eastern European ones. It's always the ones of color. Just an observation. You see what I'm saying? You know, once upon a time, there were other people that are of darker hue that have used food stamps but this is the modern rhetoric on food stamps, but not too long ago I'm sure that same narrative was being spun. The older rhetoric was being spun against, dare I say, people of black or maybe Native Americans or whoever else. And then they say, oh, this country, and then that's when Noam goes into her whole her whole her whole founding fathers kind of a, I get so sick of all of this. Oh, what they intended and blah blah blah. That means it wasn't built. It's very it's just it's really gross, is what I can say. Thank you for pointing that out. And thank you guys for loving on the like button, Tyrone T4015. I really appreciate it. Marcy T says, everyone was proud of immigration until they put illegal immigration up. And Marcy T Prayer Word says, ain't nothing to do with the color of someone's skin. It's how you get here. How'd you get here? Was it legally or illegally? You go try to invade some country to see if you can move in. Well, I mean, a lot of these people have gotten here. You got one dialectic allegedly that invited them in, and then the other one just uses them for kind of a punching bag. It's manipulation. It's just manipulation. And you can kind of see the different handling, the way it's handled between media, post to media post. It's handled differently. One of them shows bias in one way and the other one feeds the bias in another way. Marcy T says, and the government did all this so we can just stop calling people colors and green men and all this stuff. It's nothing to do with color of your skin. It's how much money you're born into. Let's see. No, I don't care. I'm not a I'm just saying, to me, I've seen the type of rhetoric that's being spewed at people. Um, I've seen the type of rhetoric spewed at people of different backgrounds before, and I'm not running around out here, you know, not running around out here saying, "Oh, well, if you can't be a Christian if you're not conservative," and all this to me, it's the kind of stuff that they do. The alignment or the counterfeit, the pure the fake. They try to cleanse, or they try to sanitize everything with with the, oh well, if we put Christ on the front of it, we we got to be right, and the rest of you people are, I can't. It's just disgusting to me, and it hasn't gotten any better. It hasn't gotten any better. Um, do I know people? Do I know people that use food stamps? Do I know people that abuse food stamps? I've heard of people. Yes, I have, but I don't want to be associated with any of it because of uh, a status or a certain group of people, or even history. I don't want their history, you know, malaligning me with what's going on today. And I do feel like that they will do that if it benefits them politically, is what I'm saying. I think people benefit from it, benefits their narrative to keep this division up. Yet they say that they want you to believe that they're righteous because they say, oh, I love Jesus, I love this person, I love that person. And then the minute you can malalign somebody, you'll do it. They'll do it. Why? Because it's more prosperity in that. They got to toe the line. They've got to toe the line. So, but for people to sit up here in line and say that there's not an affordability issue based on some sales, some pseudo Black Friday sales, that's BS. It's still BS. But then you don't have a jobs report. The November jobs report is allegedly going to be released. Only the employers that hired in October piece of the October report is going to be released. So what in the world? Why in the world do these people think that they could speak without bias about what the economy looks like if we don't even have a real jobs report? And then can we really trust those numbers? Can we trust those numbers? So I mean, who knows? Who knows? But there again, it is more. It is more. There, it's much more productive for them. It's more politically expedient for them to say that, oh, the economy's great. There's nothing wrong. What's wrong with you people? What's wrong with these social media and podcasters and all these things? But yeah, honestly, I didn't mean to turn this into anything race related, but at times you can kind of see that but I'm not going to sit here and say there's not undertones. There are undertones. And when they want to whip on somebody, it seems like they'll go for so-called the third world, uh, people of third world. They'll be attacked for everything because it's politically expedient to do so. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But I'm saying I got that report about the people that they called out, about four groups. Newsmax Newsmax called out four groups uh, that were on SNAP benefits when the whole SNAP issue came up during the shutdown. And how convenient was that? And now that they're doing this ban, they have named Afghanistan, Haiti, Venezuela, and others, um, from third world countries, that they're going to. Three of the four that were named on SNAP benefits are also being named in the sweeping ban that's going to come out. So I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. And I've also had somebody lecture me about welfare queens, that happened to be of another background, which I thought was okay. Well, if you're trying to edify me on something, that's one thing. But if you just kind of keep gassing me on, if you keep gassing on about it, then it's kind of like, okay, well, where are you actually coming from? Are you trying to? I mean, why do I need to suffer? Why do I need to suffer this over and over again? If you're not talking about me or to me, then why do you keep spinning it as if that concept is limited to one group of people? Let me read a couple comments. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Let's see. Realize says, I was watching earlier, a YouTuber was showing how there are more people living out of hotels. It was a family of 15 people in a double bedroom because they can't afford. Yes, and it's, people have been doing that. People have been doing that, but they don't. But it's no different than when Biden was in office. Nobody's. But the thing about it is, nobody said a thing about the cost of things or how fast things were, the surge in the price of things. Nobody was saying anything. But now that people want to speak out about it, you got these the right dialectic that's trying to discredit people based on a few sales that were really not that great during Black Friday. It wasn't Black Friday for everybody. It was just a regular Friday. It was a Friday. Okay. All Friday. Hey, every Friday is not black. We have 4 weeks in most months, and not every Friday is not black. It's not a black one. It doesn't really. It doesn't matter which season, But there again, it's politically expedient for them to keep this crap up. Let's see. Marcy T says, I cry when I go to the grocery store because the food tastes horrible and I've spent $400. Exactly. She says, I know I just woke up but I don't. I get it. I get it. I get it. Harold Pong 669, man, yikes. All right, guys, let me just say thanks so much, Marcy T. Prayer Warrior, for coming in. Thank you guys for loving on the like button. Thank you so much, Realize, Realize, Realize. And I am still going through that document. Thank you so much for coming in and supporting. I may come back later. AJMWA 1982, thank you so much for coming in. And Tyrone T4015, thank you so much for coming in. And Freedom's March, thank you so much for coming in. I hope I didn't miss anybody. But guys, yeah, so I'm just going to stay tuned to that and just see how much more are they going to do, what other narratives are going to come out. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and maybe I'll see you around later. It may be much later. We'll see what happens. It's a Tuesday.